So get ready to fork out, you know, 1,000 maps before you unlock. No. In that case, I'm like, alright, well, I'm going to trade for the frickin' boss thing, because you didn't challenge me to get to this boss. You just said how much time you got to give. If we don't find your numbers satisfactory, you don't get to do it. Or you trade. Like some of the bosses where you had to get just 4 fragments? Sure. That's not bad. Like Shaper and Elder? Sure. Getting Uber Elder to show up, like, first setup was pretty horrible, but if you're careful about it, you can keep him around. Cool. Cirrus gets pretty annoying to spawn, but that said, I just don't like Cirrus in the first place, so, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm surprised the currency trade, you know, like with the currency trade, they already have a lot of currencies where I can exchange one currency for another. Like I'm surprised that GGG was just like, you know what, we could just bypass this bot problem. Okay, this person who is willing to trade X number of regret for X Y number of that, just have something for all of the currencies, like be able to trade up to an exalt and back down to chaos and all that. And you know, it does set a hard price for the maximum certain stuff can be worth. Before we go far, I want to check something. How are my tires? Because I haven't checked this in a while. Their pressure is all terrible. Let's go back and fix our tires. Because those kind of pressures, I'm probably going to just wear the tires out fast and destroy them. Because I mentioned I was going to do it the last time, and then he got back to the house and I'm like, just keep going forward, don't even worry about it. And I'm also going to drop off this generator. Eventually we'll probably take it someplace else. Like that's something I might just leave in Riverside at the gas station or something. Because I do think I'm going to leave some supplies to support herself at each of the major cities. But I don't plan on building a, like not until West Point, I don't plan on building a second proper base. Fine. Did I manage to put 2 generators on top of each other? I did. There we go. Okay, let's be careful walking out. Where did you come from? Where are you all coming from? This is like the second zombie that's been like right here all of a sudden. We've had no zombies here for ages. That's 2 of you all who just kind of popped in knocking on my door. Of course, can't really see with all the trees here. I don't want to cut across all the trees on the other side. Right, what I don't remember is where the heck our bike pump is, or tire pump. There's a wrench and a lug nut, so we could do all that kind of stuff. Swap out tires and all that if we see the need to. We do have a paintbrush. I didn't think we had a paintbrush. And we have orange paint? Okay. That's exciting. I'm excited about this. I'm guessing our tire pump's inside. And the reason it's exciting that we have our a paintbrush is that means we can plaster some walls. So next time we have bad weather, that's what I'm gonna do. Just putting that there for now. Okay, so the tire pump, I know I've seen multiple, so I'm pretty sure I took one. I'm hoping I took one. Anyone know how much gear you need to find during winter? Couldn't find anything but winter hat so far. So a lot of the clothing stores can be a pretty decent place to find winter clothing. Some of the other places you can find winter clothing, I'm trying to remember. Do I not have a tire pump? I feel like I don't have one. I feel like we've seen one, but we didn't grab it because I just assumed we had it. But the clothing stores are pretty good. When you get out to like a lot of the farmhouses and all that, especially check on like beds and that, because a lot of time the beds will have like padded pants, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you don't really need winter clothes. You can just like wear a jacket, wear like a motorcycle helmet or something that's got high insulation. Yeah, exactly what Fenrir was saying. It's like you can just stack. The only time you have to worry about like proper winter clothes is if you're doing like cryogenic winter challenge or one of those. I don't think we have a good place for a bike pump here. Yeah, I know where we can find one. We can go back to the country club. There's the maintenance area has them. I missed my turn. I couldn't see in the snow. Did you know you can Shift E any car door and it puts you in the driver's seat? I did not know that, but that makes sense. Shift E also does stuff like, I believe, curtains and all that. Yeah, that's some of the stuff that just doesn't, they don't have a good place for you to discover that. You have to have someone tell you. Yeah, no, even when I was doing the cryogenic winter challenge, which is just absurdly cold, like we got to minus 90 something degree Fahrenheit, which isn't quite as cold as it gets. Like I still had room for long johns and like I could have put on padded clothing as well, and it wasn't necessary. Like we were getting a bit cold, but nothing super dangerous. So like yeah, the winter clothes are not at all necessary. You just put on layers like have a sweater, have a jacket, have a long sleeve shirt. I believe you can put on the tank top with the long sleeve shirt. Put on like a Hawaiian shirt under that. Wear a helmet that's covering. If you can find a scarf, great. You know, proper set of boots. Pair of jeans. Sure thing, Rainbow Octavian. Thank you so much for popping in and dropping those 2 weird flexes. Going, you know what? These 10,000 points, I don't need them. I'm better than them. Showing them off to everyone. Weird flex is best flex. And a stretch. So we're all stretched. And we're heading to the country club. There's like an auto repair place towards the back. So I'm gonna go back there. I keep killing zombies with the car because I keep not noticing them. The white and dark and the way the lights are moving around just like not messing with my eyes in a bad way, but making it harder to notice stuff like the zombies down the road. Like I'd rather it either be just snowy or not snowy. Not a little bit. Yeah, Vernon, I need to set up a timer. Like I lose track of counting because I have like 30 different thoughts going on in my head all the freaking time. I do need, like, I put the avatar thing there and I have a timer, but I have to set up the timer for this as well. And I think I'm just going to set it for like 2 minutes. And then, you know, see what I can do. Because I want to take the time to set up so it's like 30 seconds go by. You know, like I'm not, at first I was like, oh, I can, you know, do a graphic of like each of the different positions. Like, no, honestly, because I'll probably switch it up and I have to commission that. And once you commission, like, commissioning stuff, it's not, like, it's outrageously expensive. But it's not cheap either. So I'm like, okay, that isn't something I think I want to commission artists to do that. Like, there's a lot of other things I need to have commissioned well before that. So it might just be one of those things where I have like that stretching emote, I have the countdown, and then like have it, you know, 30 seconds go by, it's like, you know, where it's like, oh, doing left hand, I don't know the name of the stretches, but like left hand, you know, downward stretch, left hand, upward stretch, right hand, downward stretch, like I'd switch every 30 seconds. But this is another thing for me to set up, and I stream too much to take the time to set it up. Like, basically, lately it's been I wake up, I get some stuff done with work, which now the work thing's out of the way, but get some stuff done with work. Then I get on stream, and they stream till it's time to go to bed, and then I repeat the next day. And I enjoy it. But I'm not taking nearly enough time to go, okay, well, we work on our process, we edit YouTube videos, like all the other crap you have to do to help people find your stream. Because a big part of it is helping people, you know, discover you. And then the quality stuff, like what we're talking about here, where, you know, there's a countdown during my stretch. Because one, that'd be nice for people who are like, oh, you know, streamer is stretching, like, do I have enough time for a restroom break? Like, is this something I should make a snack? Like, what type of break are we talking? Talk a little break or big break? Or like, did I tune in like right at the beginning of the break or right at the end of the break? Like all that kind of information. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if we circle around back here, it's back in this area. If I'm not, no, it was over here. Was all the maintenance buildings? I think it was down here as the maintenance buildings. That's inconvenient. But part of the reason I'm like, fine, I'll take the trip is because there's a whole bunch of good tires and stuff in there. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we'll load up those tires. Because I'm not going to get any more of the push done this in-game day towards the warehouse and all that. So it's like, alright, let's just... Today is a collect things for the car day. because I know there's a tire pump there. I know there was a bunch of extra tires there, because one of our tires is in pretty bad shape at this point. I also do need to work on our mechanic skill at some point, because like we worked on a little bit just to get to hot wiring, and I am going to have to start fixing cars sooner or later. Like right now our approach to cars is I use it till it starts getting bad and then I just switch cars. So I'm starting to collect a whole bunch of cars that are in kind of crap shape. That said, we are killing the zombies while we're here, because like we called this place clear. We are going to have zombies stroll in. Let's kill them. You know, keep it honest, as it were. And I do accept that, you know, I am going to periodically need to roll through to these places, blast some sirens, draw the zombies out, get rid of them. It's gonna be so rough when we get back to summer and have to like dump off half the clothes we're wearing because it's just too hot. Okay, so we want to follow this down this way, then we take it to the east, they'll take us to the maintenance place, fix up the tires, load up. Hey Angie, say, the run is going well, we're at over 19,000 kills. We have seen 8 katanas. We have cleared this country club that we're currently driving in. We have cleared Ekron. We have started pushing towards the factory and the factory warehouse by Riverside. I am expecting the amount of resistance we see as we get close to Riverside to start going down a lot, simply because between meta events and helicopters and the noise we're making in different places and all that, we are going to be drawing more and more zombies away. Even just migrations and distributions, you know, we are going to keep seeing zombies head our way that we kill off and just gradually whittle down the population. That said, we've got a long ways to go. We did estimate originally using acceptably flawed numbers, or knowingly flawed numbers I should say, the population somewhere in the ballpark of 900,000. Now granted the math could be quite a bit off, but you know, we're dealing. Did this zombie ever manage to get out of here? Previously when he rolled through, there was a zombie just banging out that window like, you know what, I'm not waiting on you. The last stream we actually had of Project Zomboid, which would be 2 days ago, we actually, in a course of one stream, found 4 katanas, I believe it was. It's either 4 or 5. We found a lot of katanas. A lot of katanas. Right, that didn't have anything that interests us. It's this one that's the one that's like, okay, you have tools, you have tires, you have all that stuff. Alright, so let's not get ourselves in trouble by dragging tires back and forth, because I can just pull my car directly in there, put the tires in as spares and all that, grab the tire pump. We can take all that stuff home, so as we start wearing out cars, we have the basics we need for maintenance. Hey, buddy. Got an appointment? Don't think you do. Yeah, we have an extra car charger here. I don't need 2 of them. I think it's gonna fit. Saw the zombie in the back. Give me a moment. I'll deal with it. So I saw a zombie around back. Okay, never mind. But yeah, when you see, we're going to be heading back to our house here in a minute. But you'll see the katana collection. Because I've been keeping every one of them as they break, because, you know, katanas. I kill them off slowly. I don't do burns or anything like that. Nor to like run them down with my car or anything like that. To me at that point it's like, because basically if it doesn't count here, it's not how I want to kill the zombies. Now at this point we've probably accidentally run over, I would guess, somewhere in the area of 9 to 10 zombies. You know, driving around at night, you don't see them. That kind of thing. But generally speaking, we only kill the zombies with, like, melee weapons and sometimes guns. Mostly the guns just because we end up having so much ammo. It's just like, alright, well I've got 300 ammo, let's just get rid of 300 ammo. Because, like, taking into consideration I am playing a 0 to hero build. If we drag this over here. So I started with nothing on the entire thing, like no fitness, no strength, no nothing. And at this point, you know, we're at fitness 5, strength 6, mostly just beating on zombies. We did do some exercise at one point when we had a tropical storm roll through, but that didn't even equate to like a quarter or maybe half a box at a lower level or something like that. Otherwise, pretty much everything else combat-wise and passives-wise has been beating the crap out of zombies. Our carpentry's maxed out from base building when the weather sucks. Same with like tailoring, we maxed out for what we have books for. We don't have the expert tailoring book. Cooking is just happening naturally as we're taking whatever food we find, shoving it in a bowl and calling it salad. Stuff like that. We've worked our way up to 7 cooking just by doing that. Nothing fancy. Oh, right, we're here. Do I tow another car? Nah. I could, but I'm not going to. Wait till we get like a really nice vehicle, there's not much. Yeah, no, we're not luring stuff away. We're just strictly killing. Like once in a blue moon, if we're in a bad spot, like I'll take a group of zombies around a tree or something to ditch them real fast. Like if, you know, we're just so tired we can't keep up the fight, which hasn't happened in quite a while. Otherwise, we just keep fighting. And usually what happens is the next day I'll go back wherever I saw that horde of zombies and try and mop up whatever's there. Yeah, I do want to find a vehicle with a siren that's actually decent enough to drive around. Just because then I can drive around with the siren. So some of these roads just pull in the zombies from really far in the trees where I don't even have to worry about running the zombies anymore because we've pulled it from so far away. Like it'll just be so long before a group will migrate in. Yep, I do, when I'm traveling between towns, I do try and clear every single zombie I see between the locations as well. Because the way I see it, like, those are zombies that are just going to wander into town eventually. I'd rather just kill them while they're on their own and be done with it. Well, unless I start shoveling oats in our mouth or stuff like that, we're at that point where we're going to start just losing weight during the winter and just get underweight. But I think I'm pretty okay with just having us lose weight, because I'll just wait till the spring and then we'll start shoveling fish into our mouth and fix our weight super fast. I'd rather keep the non-perishables for an emergency, even though really I don't have a need for them. Like, what are the chances we actually do run out of food? And even more so, we could just as easily go to like all these places we're clearing the zombies out of that we never looted, and just grab whatever food we need and leave. But yeah, today's been a much lower kill stream than last time. And a big part of that is we did multiplayer today, which normally we wouldn't, but Tuesday we didn't do multiplayer, so we're just rescheduled it. That said, what we've been doing, which has been mostly clearing out areas that were mostly clear already, so we're just kind of killing stragglers in small packs here and there. I think the whole day we've only fought probably 6-7 legitimate hordes, and otherwise it's just been loners and loners in small groups and that. I guess I also, well no, I still don't have the welding mask. That's the reason we don't have any metalworking. I was going to say, I guess I also need to work on metalworking for the mechanic repair, being able to go some of these cars and put back together their hoods and all that once we get there. But until we get to the warehouse, I still haven't found a welding mask, which granted, we're already to the edge of the block that has the warehouse, so hopefully that won't be a problem soon. think maybe during the next couple of next couple times we have these really bad storms, I might work on mechanic instead of the carpentry stuff, because the base is looking really good. I haven't pulled up floor and decorated there, and I haven't put a door in the back where the toilet's gonna go, and we still have a space I can do more there. That's all fine. And we'll get to that eventually. But I feel like working on my mechanic and getting that up better during those days that's just not safe to go out and do stuff would be a good use of time so that I can start fixing some of these cars that are falling apart. Some mods that I personally am a big fan of is minimal display bars, which is this mod up here. Lets you see kind of what your health, what your stamina, what your hunger, your hydration, how bored, how happy, all those kind of things without having to wait on the moodles. It's especially nice for your stamina because once you go to moderate exertion, you take a huge amount of penalty for the amount of damage you do. So it's good to know that before you cross that line, because it's not like it just kind of tapers up. You do get a pretty significant penalty all at once when you cross the line. So there's that one. Weapon condition indicator, which shows the status of each weapon's condition and all that. I'm on the bottom here. That one's really nice because, if I'm running around and I'm playing a zombie, I get to know when my weapons are getting close to breaking without having to wait till them to actually break. So that's just kind of nice. Pillow's random spawn mod is huge once you've played the game for a little bit, because otherwise you get in the habit of kind of spawning in the same cities again and again, and you'll get tired and bored of seeing the same stuff. And Pillows makes it so you don't get to choose, you just get tossed. Is that character display on display to the left? This is not a mod. That's literally, you just click on that little heart there, you click on info. Yeah, that's not a mod, that's just part of the game. Alright, no zombies. I'm carrying a big heavy tire. I don't want it. Don't bring it. I actually feel like I'm going to leave the other tire in the back here, since we have one of the tires is wearing out on this one. And then when it blows out, I'll just replace the tire. Oh, it's still in my bag. It's wait a second. I grabbed the tire pump. Yes, it's just still in my bag. Yeah, these tires are pretty low. That rear left tire is looking pretty sketch. When I first started playing, how long were you surviving on average? I mean, kind of the same thing that goes for almost any player when you first start playing the game. honestly, living a couple of days when you very, very first start playing is kind of what you aim for, unless you turn the settings down to like pretty much nothing. Just because when you first start like fighting an individual zombie, you make lots of mistakes, you get yourself hurt, you get yourself killed because you don't know you need to be backing off, you don't know like that you can't like force your way into it, you don't know like when you should and shouldn't be going for swings, all that. So you die a whole lot in those first couple days, and most of it when I say die, it's you take the injury that ultimately kills you is when I say die. And then once you get past that point, you start taking on groups, and it's kind of the same thing, like almost starting over, where it's just okay. Now I have to learn how do I fight multiple zombies at once. And then you get to the point where you start surviving like a week and some change, stuff like that. And then after that, so you start building up where you're like, oh, I'm surviving a month. I'm surviving 2 months. And it's kind of around the point that you start surviving like 2-3 months that you're like, okay, well, I can technically survive effectively indefinitely. But, you know, I know what the risks are. I can just not take them. Like, I have my supplies. I can just live at home forever and would be safe forever. But that's no fun. So you do go out there knowing you're taking risks that are possibly going to get you killed, that get you killed. But yeah, like, everyone has very, very short lives when they first start playing. And again, that is barring unless they, like, turn off the zombie infection. That'll make you live way longer. Or make it so drag down mechanic isn't enabled. That'll make you live longer. Turning the zombie population way down will help you live longer. And, like, that's not belittling anyone who does those things. You play the game for fun. If that's fun, do it. But I'm just saying, if we're talking, like, base apocalypse or maybe survival mode, everyone when they first start is going to die a lot. Just really early die a lot. That when they make it past their first week, it's like, oh, hey, we're past a week. That's notable. Yeah. My longest run ever is a bit over a year. That was on just base apocalypse settings. Other than that, I think this is the longest run I've had on stream. It's close, because I know the really CDDA run we did, we got somewhere around here, and that character's still alive, but we were just like, okay, we're past the winter, we're in spring, like, the challenge is over, like, I can just play this like it's a normal run now. So we decided to get into doing this. So as you can see, we've got a small little katana collection going on here. Nice solid 8 katanas. So you know, living the good life. We sleep in our bed of katanas every night.